Just go live.
All right. Are we on yet?
Yeah. I think we are.
This is the best part. Trying to figure out how I run. I can't tell.
Connect or come?
Connect. Got a camera?
Come.
Yeah. I think we should be pretty good on our end.
Everybody could hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Clear over here.
All right.
Good. We got a yes. Dan
Ready
Rojas.
or not, we are live, and so excited today to be able to introduce a few people and announce a couple of things. First off, the people that we're with right now, we've got Jay Kinder over here. For those of you that don't know Jay, fantastic speaker, coach, trainer, #1 in his state for 10 years in a row, #2 in Coldwell Banker in the world, and an author, co-author of Miracle Morning for Realtors, and so many things. Co-founder of National Association of Expert Advisors. Welcome, Jay.
Appreciate it, man. It's an honor to be here with you guys.
Okay, and then I have Gary, Etienne, and his wife, Maria Diaz. I just found out that they're newlyweds, 2 months married. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so Gary, Maria, you guys are the star of the show today, so tell us what you're here to announce.
Well, with your help and Jay's guidance, we decided to move over to eXp. Both offices, we have 2 offices, and we just said, you know what, this is the right time, and we're excited.
Yes,
right?
Super excited.
Awesome. So I hope these guys get to know you. Tell us about your real estate journey so far.
Well, myself, I spent time a couple years at Keller Williams, as many people. Then, I saw the importance of team culture and everything else. I think that's what I really got from them, is that, make your people around you happy. Then eventually you'll make your clients happy. That was good. Then I had an opportunity to go to Exit to be an office manager. I always knew I wanted my own shop, but of course I wanted to test run it first a little bit, so I could lower my learning curve, and then I just started doing teams. I love the team concept a lot, leveraging out everything and maximizing,
Awesome. And when did you guys first hear about eXp Realty?
I heard about it about a year and a half ago. I was trying to, fix what's broken in my system of trying to give more trainings and give more tech and do a little bit of everything at the same time, and just being torn to like 100 pieces. So I was really trying to fix what's broken in my thing, and just looking out. I always look at what's out there, and if I could at least, even if I don't join it, if I could incorporate some of that in my system, right? But when I know I can't incorporate all that eXp had, that's when I really knew I got to take a closer look.
Okay. So how come it didn't make sense then? Why weren't you in the system a year and a half ago?
For me, it's really, I'm old school, Maria's Mexican, I'm Haitian. I need a brick and mortar a little bit, I need to be that face to face, like I was telling you earlier. I don't even think my mom would use me if I didn't have an office, She'd be like, "What, you're working out of your room, Stop playing video games, So I think that was definitely needed, at least for me, even if it wasn't in my branch office, knowing that you have yours, I needed at least that opportunity. And I know back then they didn't have that flexibility, and now that we do, that's what I love about it, that, they change with they adapt, right? eXp doesn't just stay in one fixed cube. They're like, this is what's needed, this is what we need changing, and then they adapt to the times.
Excellent. And I've been to your office. You have beautiful locations, and it's a productive, great culture, great collaboration with your group. How do you see that changing, or what's going to happen with that, with you joining your group?
For me, I think it's hands down. We could actually give them more, right? Because I could give a training at 11 o'clock, and it could be the greatest training ever, but it's only one training, right? Now they could go to eXp World and get 3 trainings, and something that they want, because people at different levels, I could be teaching something, and then somebody's asking a couple questions that veterans like, if I hear that question one more time, let me get out of here. I think that's from the vet. The kid coming into the office meetings, they're like, no, I can't take it. So it gets frustrating. So this way, everybody could really go at their own pace. And of course, I'm always thinking about doing office time. Now in the world, I could have office time scheduled out, and the people just come in and see me, without driving through traffic. New York traffic is a killer. You spend more time in traffic than you do in the office. So I think I could really get to more agents at one time.
I agree.
Vincent, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So I like to dig a little bit deeper, and I think this is valuable for the people listening, because when you say fix some of the challenges that you had in your model, we have all, whether you've bought a franchise, hope that was going to fix all your problems, or you go independent and you're trying to find out, hey, what's working from everybody else, like you mentioned. We've all been through that, and I know there's got to be people that have offices full of agents where they're dealing with certain challenges and trying to figure out how to make it all work. What was it specifically that was the challenge for you as it related to growing that business?
Yeah, I think it was really trying to stay out of being a productive broker. I think the essence of being a broker is really to leverage your people up, train them, get them better. I think we get forced into production, but the essence is really to keep training, get them building. Let's maximize their potential. But there's a middle part that, I need to pay the bills and I need to keep you guys. So, it's like that curve, that down period of, do I just try to recruit and get more agents, or do I say, you know what, let me just push that production,
Right. Yeah, that's what I suspected that you would say, and I know that resonates with a lot of people, because the goal is that you get to a point in your career where adding value to people's lives becomes really like the most fulfilling thing that you do, right? And really helping people grow and creating leaders and helping people creating opportunity. And it's just it's an awesome opportunity, the way eXp kind of just aligns with allowing you to focus on those things, instead of forcing you back into production to try to make up the difference and never delivering enough value to the agent. Then you have agent attrition. It's just like this continuous Ferris wheel that we're on.
Yeah, and even more so, just even out of production, out of the running to MLS for appeals and other broker stuff that's not really productive. It's needed, but not really. It's counterproductive. Yes, we have to go to MLS for stuff and this and back office stuff. Now I can really have somebody, your checks, there's a deposit department, there's an accounting department, there's all those things that, I became an accountant, I became a lawyer, I became so many different professions that I was like, when am I going to become a broker again? Like, when will I stop becoming everything else? I was watching Law and Order just for tips. I was like, I need closing arguments. What's going on here?
Right.
I've been to Gary and Maria's office, and they were announcing to their agents. And I got to tell you, the people that were most excited were the team leaders and the producers in your office, right, Gary and Maria?
Yeah, definitely. They saw, and I know they saw that, oh, you know what? Yes, we're finally getting everything that we really need more of, We need this more training so I can help support my team members, so they could be, so I can get more time to them and to their team and make their team grow. I think that's really the key. It's like, all right, guys, we don't have to worry about all this other stuff that's non-income producing stuff. Needed, but not really producing income on that.
What I find interesting is that you guys were doing good already. Like, you weren't on your way out; you were kind of on your way up. And, so a change like this it's never really expected, and it happened with me too. Nobody expected us to make that change, the change that we did. And I don't know, is that like a recurring theme that you see, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think people that are growing and seeing opportunity and, they're having success, they see that they could have more success under this model. I mean, we were in the same situation where we were expanding our brokerage from Dallas to Atlanta. And we immediately started running into the challenges of bricks and mortar and moving across state lines. And literally, like, the light bulb goes off when you see the model, like, wow. This gives you like the ultimate flexibility. You want to be agile. You want to open up teams. I mean, like right now, Gary, Marie, you guys know this already. I'm sure you guys have talked about it, but you guys can start teams anywhere, right? Like, you can do what you're doing and expand without the cost of expanding, right? Like that's, and so I think the people that are on the come up, they see opportunity and you start to run into challenges. Okay, well, how am I going to scale it from here, right? And there's that ceiling that you run into in every kind of iteration of the business model, whatever you might be building, whether you're building your own production and your own brand, or you're building your independent brokerage, or you're helping really leverage and build teams. It just has it's an agile model that allows you to add more value to the agent, gives them more opportunity for an exit, gives them more opportunity and residual income, and more complete alignment with, the teams that you join with, for us to all help each other. Then removes all the boundaries of a typical franchise model that we might see, or the cost and infrastructure of taking an independent and moving it to multiple states. So yeah, it's just I just say it all the time. I'm like, man, Glenn is a genius. He just handled the business model. Like, and I laugh because, like, I'm thinking about 2009, which is when eXp was founded. A cloud-based office in 2009. Are you kidding me? Like, the iPhone was 2 years old. Right? Like what was he thinking? He was crazy at the time to think that a cloud-based real estate office was going to work. We're still all kind of getting our heads around the benefits of it and how you really leverage it, and how much more support and training that can be provided. Like, we're still, I think a lot of people don't quite see it, even some people that are maybe involved in it. And so it's just a brilliant model, man. I mean, we're lucky, I'm just glad he thought of it, because it's cool to be able to take and leverage it.
Yeah. Gary and Maria both had these in mind. I think, see, Gary was thinking another state, and Maria was thinking another country. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ever since she's like, yo, we gotta do it in Mexico. I'm like, all right, I was just thinking Florida. My sister's in Tampa. I was like, can we slow down? So it was looking at becoming an agent, a broker, the whole reciprocity. It was just so much. I feel like a whole weight is lifted, and I can do it a lot more. My accessibility, like you said, it's right there.
Yeah. I mean, we run into the same thing. We both had multiple offices, and we opened up these offices because we want to expand into new marketplaces, right? And in order for us to do so, it's, just the amount of money that you have to put out before you see that profit. It's understandable.
Yeah.
And going across state lines, like Jay, you were doing, I can't even imagine all that would be involved, right?
Yep.
So it's nice that they really let you to, scale without putting any expense, without participating in any of that expense. Right?
And I love it. It's all under the same cap. It's all under the same. It just makes it so much easier, so much less. Like, I gotta look for another broker. I gotta look for another thing. So trust me.
Now, we got to make sure everybody understood that. You can open in multiple locations across the United States, Canada, and other countries. One cap, one set of fees. One cap, one set of fees. Not paying other offices and other caps and another system and another process. All the same processes and systems you currently use. One cap. Think bigger, right? Like, that's what I think a lot of entrepreneurs that have been successful in real estate are thinking now, is like, we've all had various levels of success. This is an opportunity for us to think bigger than we maybe we're thinking, just because of the limitations that we always have had.
Yeah, exactly. Ever since I saw that, my mind exploded. I couldn't even sleep. She's like, "You're not sleeping yet." I'm like, "No, this, it's like I felt like when I first opened up the first one, it was like so energized. I'm like, all right, this is it.
I used to wake up at 4 a.m, and he was on the computer on the world.
Yes.
Like, oh, that.
World. She's like, I thought it was 8 o'clock. Like, don't worry, I'm looking at stuff. I'm looking where I'm going to put the meetings, what hours, what people. So yeah, I like to embrace it, go all in, and learn everything about it. I don't half-ass it,
Right.
they go all in, and that's the only way I know how.
Yeah. And it's funny because a couple months ago, before we heard about eXp again, we wanted to open up an office in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And things were really good. So everything happens for a reason, right? Everything for a reason. It was great. And I was waiting for this for a long time. When I started, I'm like, what if we had like a company that we can go to Mexico and do business there and just be there for a year and not worry about, we have to go back.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, we're looking at airline like mileage flows. It wouldn't be out the miles. So, like I said, it definitely the flow came in at the right time. I think timing is everything. It's the right time. For us and for New York, for this market.
Oh man, we're so new here in New York. I mean, I think we're at maybe 350 agents in the entire state, maybe 400 agents in the state. It's amazing.
Yeah. And that's that thing I love about it the most. It's like, there's no reason to like second guess. It's like, gotta get in. Let's get started. Let's get people on board. Before you blink the eye, it's going to be 10,000 people. So I want to be there before they get there.
So you guys are a domestic team, right? And you've been, I think I want you to go into that and explain what a domestic team is and kind of the different teams that are available at eXp.
Yeah. There's a lot of different team options, which I love. From standard team, mega team, self-organized, but domestic is really so. It's a good part because we're always working together. So it's under one cap. So that's some benefits of it. And the only thing you really have to have is a marriage license or taxes that you guys are filing jointly. But yeah, it's definitely helps us out. Because like I said, I'm more in the training and developing, and now she could be in the recruiting and getting that revenue sharing up and getting people more in the door. So I think she's more excited because now she has a good product here to sell, rather than I'm bringing them in, but where are they going to line up? What are we going to do with them? Now we have a plan, now it's a system, a plan in place, and that makes what the team is so much better.
Awesome. So there's 4 different teams in eXp. There's a self-organized team, a standard team, a mega team, and a domestic team, right? So you really do have options, so it's
and you're not bound. You can change them up after a while. I think it's, you look it over. You have to have the right questions. They help you out with some questions. Just everybody's situation is so different. You really got to lay out. All right, this is what's happening with me. I have team leads, I have members, I got people leveraging out what best structure is for me, and having options is the best way.
What I think is cool, Jay, being that you created National Association of Expert Advisors and seeing all the good material that you've been putting out and knowing that pay for it and my team doesn't have to pay for it going forward. I feel like I'm cheating this a little bit.
Right. It is. It's awesome for me too, because it required me to have 40 plus employees to build that company to 10 million in revenues and to run that company. And now when you take away the need and the necessity to sell products, you take away a lot of the overhead and the challenges that you face in running a company. So it's my pleasure to be able to be very hands-on and be able to provide some additional value and training and things for the agents that join our team, not just in helping them sell more real estate, which is definitely our core, but also in other areas and the agent attraction side of things, and being able to kind of provide systems and processes that just make everything easier, right? Like that's, and again, I'm getting to add value now. I'm not asking for a credit card. So like, that's just a much better way to do it.
just a lot better.
It's just another way for us to add value for our associates and anybody coming on in our group, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said, it's better for me. It was like, me and Vince were at the same franchise. We would see each other at conventions, but collab for like an hour. You're like, all right, I'll see you in 6 months. Let me know what happened, But now this way, we're in touch more. We're really genuinely helping each other grow.
Right. If you really are business partners, like it's a cool thing because we always, I know you guys get this. We're like, there's always like people that you meet or you see at certain events and you're like, man, I would love to be in business with them and have a more, relationship that was more, there's not enough time in the day to be always kind of communicating with, all the people that you would love to talk to. And until the financial alignment is there and then it may start to make sense. So like, how do we put all our fires together and make one big fire? And this is how we do that, right? So this business model has us all financially aligned, where we're not having to pay for anything. It's not costing us anything out of pocket, but we're all business partners and in complete financial alignment. Your success is my success. I see comments. Veronica Figueroa, she's a business partner as well. Like what an amazing group of people that we get to work with on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest key. Like I'm not. I felt like I had to think of everything myself. I had to think of my own idea, whether it went up or down. I had nowhere really to shoot it off,
Right.
Ideas off. And now it's like, oh, all right, let me think it through. And, and I want you guys to poke holes in my, in my ideas. And like, all right, that sounds great. That sounds good. I'm like, it sounded good, but it sounded too good to be true. So
right.
What's going on with it, it's so much better.
Agreed.
Yeah, on my ride in today, I got a referral from one of our partners out in Florida. I think it's Orlando. And, on top of that, I was talking to a team leader and I said, I saw a webinar that you were on and you mentioned something that, I just didn't know about, teach it to me. And he said, I'll give you a call in 10 minutes. It was amazing. We hopped on the call. He gave me a few pointers, and we've got a follow up on how to implement some of the ideas that he put together. So the collaboration, the sharing, I've never seen it like this before.
I agree.
Right. So Gary, Maria, give us maybe the top 3 reasons that made you move your 2 offices over to eXp Realty.
I'll start with number, like one of the big ones for me, like I said, was, being able to actually really give real tech. I always had technology. Sometimes I didn't even want to charge the technology fee because it was only a CRM, a couple logins to RedX and stuff like that. And I was like, is this real tech? Is this what tech means for real estate? Like, this is it, But, given the real tech and actually all the training, I think, scalability of training people on different levels is what I think it'll help me keep top producers as well, because, they're at different levels. That's why I always look at longevity, how can I keep people around for a longer period of time,
Yeah, for me, I have so many reasons that I don't know where to start. But I think the most important is, from an agent point of view, right, is in training and getting technology at the same time. When I started in this big company, beautiful, really nice, fancy. It was giving me all the technology that any agent needs, but the training wasn't really there because if you were to go to that company, you had to know what you were doing. And I was new. And I was like, okay, so now what do I do now? How do I use this? And then I went to another company, which was also good. The training was really good, but the technology wasn't there, So there's always something missing until now that we can have both. And it's really great because it's more than, what I imagined.
Yeah.
Not only that, also there's so many ways of making money with eXp. that I was telling him, it's impossible for someone to join and not make at least 50,000 a year net, at least, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's really great. Now we could have the time to train other people, to get more people, and I just love it. I love it. Also the legacy. It's crazy. You could give because like I was saying, living in an office to your family is also living like a liability, you know? Now with this, it's as long as he has a license, if I pass away, he can get it. As long as my kids have a real estate license, even if they don't do anything, they could get it too. So it's unbelievable. I just love that part.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And like you said, we have kids, and my son, he's turning 17 next week, and he was like, "Yeah, you avatar this." I was like, "Slow down, man." I was like, "I just logged on," So getting him more into it before he even gets his license is great,
Yeah.
because I was like, push him in, nudge him into the business. You don't want to push him in the business, but now he really has something that I can leave him without the overhead and the expenses and a lot of that other stuff that he would have to learn the hard way maybe, and make other mistakes. And now this way you can have those revenue sharing, a whole line of revenue sharing that day one could leave to his kids,
And that doesn't decrease with each of the stages, right? So there's no reduction when you retire. There's no reduction to your beneficiaries when you pass. It just stays level, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is the best part, So
Yes.
it's a win-win, and it's got to be. Otherwise, what's the point?
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Jay, any questions for these guys?
Yeah, I think we lost your mic.
Yeah, can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a vacuum cleaner going in the background, so I apologize. But yeah, no. So I think the last question I would have is if you were talking to somebody or somebody's watching this that maybe is thinking, okay, why should I consider this? Like, what would be the thing that you would tell them?
I think a lot of the systems out there. There's got to be something that's maybe not broken, but that's flawed. Dig into that and see if we could help that. Everybody has their own thing, right? Everybody has their own itch that like, only if I had this, only if I had that, and it's different for everybody, but depending what stage you're at in your business, but, reach out to any one of us, and we'll see how this fits for you, I think it's so tailor-made for each individual person that unless you really dig deep, you're not doing yourself justice. You just basically time is passing without fixing your itch.
Yeah, for me, I think it would be, why wouldn't you? You have all this and you got nothing to lose. We have endless opportunities. It's crazy. We're going to all these other countries. You don't have to pay other fees. You don't have to find another broker. It's just crazy not to join,
Yeah.
I think for me, I would go that way.
So, we'll put our email in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll put it there as well. I'll have Vince, everybody else, like I said, it's definitely different for each person individually, and you just got to reach out to know if it works for you.
Mm-hmm. Ask questions. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, definitely. Do research, add questions, do a lot of research. I've seen so many videos of Jay. It's endless. I'm like him and Al. I feel like I'm sitting there having coffee with them sometimes. I'm like, back me up,
You guys did this was a great interview. Really one of the best ones I've got to be a part of, because you guys really hit home on the real reasons, in the emotional reasons and the day-to-day reasons of why this is just a better business model, not just talking about it from the opportunity side, but from the reality of what we do on a day-to-day basis and the impact we can make in people's lives. So it was a pleasure to be on here. I think did we met Vincent there?
Yeah, I think we lost Vince for a while.
Lost the video. Well, he'll have to come back. He'll have to come back because he can't. I don't know how to end the live without him.
Without him, he started it. So.
But no, yeah, it's been a pleasure being a part with you guys, and I'm looking forward to helping you guys build this. And what is the future like? We're going to be obviously building New York, and you guys talked a little bit about possibly at Jersey at one point, and
yeah, I think like I said, Florida, Jersey. I definitely have we're part of NARA, which is across the whole country. San Diego. We're looking at the convention in September. So we like to it's a moving show. It's like
right.
Anywhere, and I can still be in contact with my agents. That's the beauty.
So much opportunity, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I never lose a day for travel.
Right.
And one of the things that I forgot to mention is that I said that on eXp the World, they're gonna have trainings in Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Spanish content.
Correct.
Yep.
So we're trying to do videos in Spanish.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
Yeah.
My brokerage Spanish, but really Spanish content, so we can reach out to Spanish agents and that we'll feel more comfortable hearing it in Spanish.
Yep.
I think that's key.
Yep.
Videos maybe 8-10 minutes long will be on YouTube and everything else. I think that's important. It's all about educating everybody to know they made an informed decision. Whether you come or not, at least you felt like you knew everything about it and you made your decision. Yeah. I think that's the key.
That's right? It. Yeah, that's there's a quote in the book so right before I joined, I read a book from Ray Dalio called Principles, and one of the things that he talked about was being radically open-minded and transparent was one of his principles. And at the time, it's real easy for ego to get in the way and for you to say, well, because of this, or it's just this, and this, that's not going to work, and it's not sustainable, or whatever. All these crazy things people come up with, but you really owe it to yourself to do the research, ask questions, talk to people, and don't just talk to biased people. Talk to both sides and see and hear both sides of what people have to say, and then you come to your own conclusion of what's best for you and your future, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's like as much good, you hear people's points of view, but you got to see what's right for you. That's why I say, you got to find out what's in your business that you need fixing, because nothing's perfect, right? But see how we could help. Right.
No question. So there's going to be a way to reach out to you in the comments, and we got Vincent back.
Hey, man.
Welcome back. It's always like a heart-stopping moment when you're in the middle of a presentation and the video something goes wrong.
At least once, right? At
least once. Usually, if my kid's interrupting, me, that's usually what happens. I don't have audio from Vincent.
Can you hear us?
No,
you're good.
Yeah.
All right, what I miss?
Great. That may have been the best part. You just missed it.
Oh man.
It's like that commercial, right? When you go to pizza, you're like, the touchdown.
Yeah.
So we've got a few of these lined up. So the next, actually, we have another one tomorrow coming, and we've got a big announcement tomorrow at noon. We'd love to share with everybody, and a couple lined up next week. The Kingdom Alliance here in New York, it's growing. And we look forward to sharing that news with everybody.
Love it. You guys are great. Pleasure to be in business with you guys, and looking forward to support you guys.
Yeah. Gary, did you leave an email for people to contact you?
Do email and everything else through the comments, and it'll be in the comments, email and on the YouTube. Yeah.
And I've got onebigfirenewyork.com set up for you guys. Answer some of the questions that you might have. And if you wanted to schedule a time to speak with me, I am available. I want to thank you guys. Jay, I want to thank you. Gary, thank you so much. Maria, thank you. So excited to be partnering up with all of you guys.
Yeah.
Really, guys.
Really excited.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.